Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining me for this Transmute Q&A. I'm really excited that you're here. And I have this new setup that I'm really excited about. So I'm just have been working on these multiple camera angles. This other webcam over here, and got this 4K Logitech webcam over here that I just got. So, and then I just got this microphone too. This is the Shure SM7B. Hopefully it sounds good. Let me know. Drop me a comment in the chat and let me know if it sounds good or not. I've spent the last couple days dialing in my whole audio situation, and now it's just like so fire. So if you guys join Transmute, I can't wait to share with you my whole online setup as well, because we're going to be performing online. So it's going to be dope. So if you guys are here, you probably are here because of Transmute. So thank you so much for joining. This is a Transmute call, specifically a Q&A call. So if you've got other questions, you'll have to hold them for another time when I do another session. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the program. I'm going to share a couple of success stories, artists who went through the program, what they loved about it. And there's plenty of time to get to all of the questions that have been submitted. And of course, submit your questions that you have in the chat so I can answer those questions as well. And I'm going to give you the application at the end so you can fill out your application and we can do it together. So I'm really, really excited to launch Transmute 2.0. The first time around, it was earlier this year. It was a great time. We had about 15 students from all over the world. And we had someone from Singapore. We had someone from Slovenia who got up at 3 a.m. to be on the video calls with us once a week. And since then, I've decided to have the calls a little bit earlier so people in Europe can not have to wake up in the middle of the night. And we had just so many amazing guests, friends of mine, rock stars in the controllerism community join. And yeah, it was a really good time. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos from people that were in Transmute the last time and answer some of the FAQs. So I've got this video here that I'd love to share with you. And yeah, it's a synopsis of several of the people that from Transmute from the last time and their experience with Transmute.
I definitely noticed a huge shift in my show design knowledge, seeing how Laura designs her shows and all of the details that goes into that and the process.
I've been learning a lot about myself, about my potential.
Laura in of herself is like such a trailblazing person. There's really nobody like her.
I'm just like in awe of how much like progression I made.
Having the support for working towards a live set was really helpful.
The positive vibes that everybody gave, it helped get through, like if you were having issues.
I've definitely gone through some kind of crazy electronic transformation.
I think I'm on the road to actually performing live.
Knowing Laura and the fact that she's what we call her, she's just the authority on Ableton.
So yeah, do it. If you're serious about it, this is something that you do if you're serious.
Heck yeah. So that was actually Jules. I'm going to play his video next so you guys can check this out.
I definitely noticed a huge shift.
Not play that over again. Technology. So I'm going to go to Jules's video now. So Jules is one of our Transmute superstars. He actually also came to our master track program for EC and just like absorbed all the information, took it to the next level. Here he's performing using these, what he calls Mad MIDI, and he's using this drum set. And yeah, to control all this video at the same time. It's crazy.
It's getting faster and faster and faster.
So yeah, he's certainly got a wild setup there, and to see him cultivate this and create it throughout Transmute was really, really exciting for me to see, you know, and I'd seen a couple of other drummers do this, but not in the detailed way that he was doing it. So, and now he's playing at like Mass Mocha and bigger venues, and he's really able to command more money and get better gigs because of the time that he spent in Transmute and all the work that he did after Transmute. So it's mind-boggling the amount of hours that he's put in, because all these sensors and triggers are triggering all the video in real time and the sounds. It's wild. So big ups to Jules, who is one of our all-star Transmutants. And yeah, so there's a lot of people that I could be talking about, but I'm sure you guys are here because you want to get your questions answered. And I see a lot of questions coming in. So I'm going to just go ahead and answer them. All right, so why did I create Transmute? Well, I created Transmute because I had worked with people one-on-one for so many years, and I had helped them, and I helped a lot of people get gigs, and either in the playback world or in the live performance space. And it's really fulfilling to me to help people to achieve their dreams and to see that come to light. But what I realized was that I couldn't reach as many people as I wanted to. And so I decided to create Transmute because I wanted to create a program for people to elevate their live shows and get better gigs and make more money and just become more powerful as artists, because it's my journey as well. Like me as an artist, I'm always constantly aiming and striving to play better gigs and make more money. And I have been over the past couple of years, especially as I've started to level up my performances. I've started to see more and more offers come in. I have an agent now. They're getting me a fall tour. You know, I'm performing at spaces and festivals that I wasn't able to play at a few years ago. And I think it's because I've really put in the time to work on my live show. So I created Transmute to really help people and inspire people to create the next version of their live show, because that's my passion, you know, and I just want to like share that with as many people as possible. So that's why I created Transmute. So Transmute's 8 weeks long. You're going to learn things in the different modules. So I'm going to go, I'm sure you've seen the web page if you have been on this call, if you're on this call, but I'm just going to share it once again with you so we can go over some of the modules here. So the first week is really about envisioning your show. This is like one of my favorite parts. And actually Cliff Martinez, who was in Transmute the last time, is a film composer with Drive. He did Drive and Solaris and a bunch of other amazing amazing shows and movies. And he said this was his favorite part because he really got to see what other people were doing and really just think outside the box and really figure out what was possible. Then we go into designing your rig, all the gear that's involved. I show you my entire rig. I go over all of the gear that you should choose, tools for your toolbox when you're traveling, building your set, so prepping your stems, figuring out what to perform versus playing back. Like just really all about building your session and creating interesting transitions and segments and moments in your songs. And then also improvising, not having your show be so static, but being able to improvise within a certain structure. And then we incorporate instruments and vocals, so virtual instruments, latency and CPU stuff, live looping, and then we have our first online performance. Now, this is not live, but it is, you upload a video and we play it in the weekly call. And so then we've got week 5 effect discovery, so all kinds of complex effect stuff, automating effects, creative effects. And then week 6, the craft of controllerism. So we all want to know how we can do more on stage. So advanced MIDI mapping, using the controller as an extension of yourself, like what controller is right for you, how could you use it, and what would you control with it? So how can you be more engaging on stage? Week 7, be your own tech. Like I've came up with every single scenario that I've been through that I can imagine, and gone through and written down everything and answered all the questions, and just gone through every scenario that has gotten me in the past, that has stopped my show or almost stopped my show or stopped other people's shows. I've just been in so many different scenarios with, big artists to small artists, where a lot of random things have come up. And so we address all of those things so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made and other artists have made in the past. And then week 8 is putting everything all together. So performance in action. This is where we have guest speakers come in. We deep dive into different artists' rigs. We dissect advanced setups. This is really where we put it all together. And we have our final performance, week 8. So this is where we do the live streamed version of your show, and or a couple of songs. It doesn't need to be an entire show. And we walk you through all the tech on how to live stream, because that's a whole art in and of itself that I've figured out. And so there's a lot of information surrounding how to perform online. So that is the module layout. That was one of the questions that just people wanted to know a little bit more. There is a weekly, as I mentioned, there's a weekly live component on Zoom. So we meet once a week. You submit your questions to me and I answer them. We get to talk. This is where the camaraderie starts to build. And also in the Facebook group, the camaraderie in the Facebook group is amazing. People just are asking questions and showcasing new things and uploading little videos with tips and tricks. And so it's awesome, because the community that formed in the first Transmute, it still lives on. I mean, people are really proud to be Transmutants. And from my first retreat that I did to the program and now this next one, it's just a growing community of amazing people. So, so some other questions that are coming in on the chat. How do I know if I'm a fit for Transmute? Okay, so this is a really good question. So basically, I think if you have a couple of songs at least, or if you're a DJ and you have some tracks that you want to augment, and you know Ableton, like you don't need to be a ninja, you know a bit about Ableton Live, I think you're a fit. Anyone who wants to bring their live show from here to here and really just start blowing people away, making more money, getting better gigs, those are the people that are fit for Transmute. Oh, and also you have to be a super nice and community-oriented person, because I only accept people that are here to share and to learn and grow. And that camaraderie and that community aspect is really, really important to me. So if you are about all that stuff like I am, then you're a fit for Transmute, and we would love to have you in here. So will we be covering how to increase our fees and make more money? Yes. Okay, so that's something that I didn't have in the Transmute 1.0, but so many people asked about this. Like, how are you getting gigs? How are you making more money? How are you budgeting for this stuff? So we are absolutely going to go over, I got some techniques for finding different locations. I've been performing for almost 20 years, so finding these places, we've got lists of locations and venues that I can share with you. So we'll definitely be talking about how to hit up people in the right way and the way to increase the money that you're going to make. Another question, what is the access to me during the program? So every week we have the Q&A call. So I will be on that every week, and then I will also be in the Facebook group, and my assistant will also be in the group and on the calls and be able to answer things. And I'll also have a teaching assistant who will be able to help you with questions in case I'm not available or if I'm on a gig. So there's definitely a ton of support, and of course your fellow Transmutants that are in the group. Let's see, is there anything in the meantime I can do to prepare? Well, I would just keep producing music, get some music ready, you know, get your music and your stems ready for the program. Let's see, another question. Are the dates for the performances listed anywhere? So every group will be privately invited into a shared calendar with the dates for the program, lessons, Zoom calls, and events. So if you want a detailed breakdown of the current dates, you can email hello@lauraescudé.com with the subject line Transmute Dates. But right now, the program starts on September 3rd, and it will be rolling for 8 weeks. All right, so what if you can't attend every session? We record every session, which will be sent to every Transmutant the day following each session. So there will be a whole library of videos for you to watch, and you can submit your questions beforehand so that I can answer them on the call. So if you can't be on, but you submit your question, I'll still answer it and make sure that I get to that. How many hours per week do participants need to be ready to dedicate? So we ask all Transmutants to dedicate a minimum of 5 hours. So that's 1 hour for the Zoom call, 2 hours for solo assignments and the modules via Teachable, and 2 hours for additional practice and your weekly reflection. So obviously, the more practice that you do, the better it's going to be for your show. All right, is there homework? Yes, there is homework. We have reflections. We've got different documents and things and writings for you to reflect on. So we do recommend that you do that homework. And also there's just the homework of going through the modules and then preparing your song and taking the next step with your song based on that. Another question, can I get a job with Electronic Creatives after finishing Transmute? That is a good question. So people that were in the program before, there's some crossover with the Master Track program that we do, and I've arranged for them to be involved with some of our artists and go shadow some of our engineers on shows. So there's definitely the possibility to work with us if you really take initiative and you really absorb all the information, and I can just really see that you're serious about it. So there's definitely a possibility. Anything's possible, basically. So I'm not going to say no or yes. It just depends on you, really, and your energy and what you put into it. Okay, so does anyone have any other questions that I haven't answered? If so, just write that in the chat right now so I can just see. Okay. Besides the weekly lessons, are there any other times events we need to be available for? No, it's just the weekly Q&A, and then everything else is on your own time. So we developed it for people that are really busy, that have crazy schedules. So you can do all of the modules and the homework on your own time and then just meet for the calls. And again, if you can't meet for the call, it's no problem because we record it and we can answer your questions. Okay, so if you guys do have more questions, you can contact my assistant at hello@lauraescudé.com, or you can book a call. And I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so you can get with my assistant if you have any other questions or book a call like I mentioned. If you need the link for the call, if you guys are watching this after the fact, just email hello@lauraescudé.com and you will get the link for that. And if you're ready to apply and put down your deposit, you're going to visit this link here to apply. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. All right. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And you can see here, this is the schedule the appointment page. It'll look something like this when you check it out. And then, so I want you to go over to and click the link that I dropped in the chat. And let's go to the application page. So I'm going to just fill this out with you so that you know that it's not a super scary thing. It's not too long. It does require some thought because we want thoughtful people in the program. So I'm going to go through it with you. All right. My last name is not that. And then my email. And my website. Okay, so here's where I would put a link to my recent live performance video. So I'm going to just skip this for now because I'm assuming you guys all have that and I would have to go to YouTube and find it. But here are my links to my social media handles. Okay, who am I as an artist? Okay, I call myself a future classical performer, controllerist, looking to push boundaries. Controllerist is still not accepted as a word. It's funny. What size of venues have I performed? Festivals, concert halls, mostly. And then, you know, when I've opened for artists, I performed in arenas. All right, from a scale to 1 to 0 to 10, you know, I'm always still learning stuff, and I think everyone is. I don't think anyone is a 10, so I'm just going to say a 9. On a scale from 0 to 10, how comfortable am I working with the latest music technology? I would say 10, very comfortable. Which tools or technology would you believe would most improve your live set? So for me, it's right now it's the video component. So video, VR, and the syncing of audio between them. Okay, what are the biggest obstacles? Really, just for me, it's I think creating the space and time, you know, and for me, finding the right mentors, you know, because I'm looking for new mentors as well. Okay. All right. Well, this is kind of an awkward question for me to answer for myself, but I will let you guys answer this one. How do you feel? Why do you feel you're ready to learn from me, basically? You know, and we asked this question because I have worked at a high level. I've worked with people at all levels, and you know, we're just curious. Why do you want to work with me? Maybe you saw a performance of mine. Maybe you have seen one of my webinars or things online. So yeah, just let me know. Ability to invest. So yeah, just be honest right now, you know, where you're at. Like if you're serious about Transmute and you are currently possess the financial resources, check that one. If you understand about the early bird pricing, which is really, you have to submit it by the end of the evening tonight to qualify. So you've got only a few more hours. You say yes. We have payment plans available. So if you're interested in a payment plan, definitely say yes. We will hook you up with that. What is your dream venue? Mine is Forum Arcosanti, the festival. So I'm going to say that. How much money do you want to be making performing? Okay, so for me, it's $10,000 a show. And I'm not looking to perform that much. I would say maybe 2 performances a month because my show is pretty intensive. What am I doing for work right now? How would that change? Well, you guys know what I'm doing if you're on here, but we're just curious, like, yeah, dream with us a little bit. Dream with me. Like, imagine your show. Imagine how this would change, how your life would change if you got what you wanted out of this. Like, what do you want out of this program? What do you want to do? And what can you envision your life being like? So yeah, that's the application. That's it. That's not so scary, right? So again, like I mentioned, tonight is the last night for the early bird. So if you submit your application this evening, you will still be accepted for the early bird pricing. Now, not everyone gets accepted to the program, again, because I want to make sure that you're the right fit, we're the right fit. I don't want to bring anyone into the program that isn't ready either. And I also don't want to bring anyone into the program that has got bad vibes. So hopefully you've got good vibes if you're watching this far and you want to be a part of Transmute. So again, if you have any other questions, feel free to email my assistant, hello@lauraescudé.com. Thank you so much for joining. And for those of you that are watching this after the fact, thank you for watching this. It would be a pleasure to see your application come through for Transmute and to build the live show of your dreams. So see you later.